All right.
Just are we live?
What about balls?
You know, this was a private garage that had a lot of dark corners before everybody else got involved.
Put all these weird lights in here.
Yeah,
and
now it's very well lit and not very conducive to.
Weird
hi.
hats.
This is awkward.
Welcome to yet another amazing.
I don't know him. I just want to make that clear.
This
I'm
is what
the one over here
happens.
playing with balls.
This is what happens when you let your 6-year-old daughter, obviously, pick out your hat.
That's a really
So
cool
that's
hat.
why you're
Ari.
wearing that. Your daughter.
Ari, thank you. I love you. Everybody else at home, love you. Anna and Emmy and Pickles.
Sure.
Etc. Everyone at all.
Nobody
That's all.
Nobody at my home is watching
chickens.
this
Oh.
right now. April
They're
is.
not watching either. My family's not watching.
They probably are.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wait, you guys have a family?
Oh yeah. There's.
Pretty sweet.
My grandma.
She's
My
right.
grandma's watching.
She's
Hi, Gemma.
right there. Your mom is in here probably.
Ari
Speaking
says, "I love
of
you." Oh.
people watching,
Yes. Our sponsors are watching.
they usually are.
Waiting
They usually
for
are.
us
Yeah.
to-
So I would love to, talk about our amazing sponsors. Who would you like to talk about first?
Well, I see you got API pulled up on the screen,
Yeah.
so let's talk about our homies over at Arms Preservation Inc. They have some of the finest preservation bags, gun bags, on the market, I would say, with their vapor corrosion inhibitor technology. And that awesome, really thick blue plastic that they use. What a
It
great
is-
sound that is, by the
A
way.
little ASMR there for you. It is definitely not the word that comes to mind is chintzy. Mm-hmm. Very high quality.
Well
like,
crafted, yeah.
You're not gonna just tear through that putting a rifle
Dude,
into it.
the Velcro, sometimes you have a hard time with opening the Velcro
It's-
because it's so solid.
Stout. Yes.
It's very- yeah.
They have a cool. I like when people do this. March 8th is coming up.
Sure.
3/8.
Yeah,
308.
308.
Yes.
Right? So it's 308 day.
Yep.
And actually, right now, live, between now and the 8th, you can enjoy 8% off the entire website. So anything that Arms Preservation, APIStoragebags.com.
So that could be one of their 50 cal ammo can liners.
That's
it could
that's
be,
the move. Like, obviously, protecting your guns is smart.
But the ammo.
I can't tell you how much ammo we see brought in from people. Oh yeah, Grandpa bought this, or my uncle bought this. Like, and it might have only
Corroded
been 10
as
years ago,
all
but
get
yeah,
out.
it's completely ruined.
Somebody
Ammo looks
put it
awful,
in a.
but can I have the box?
Yes,
Right.
we will give me that cardboard.
Somebody puts it in a basement. You know what I mean? It's not in a controlled environment. So this creates like that micro environment. I think that's probably, if I had to guess, Mitch's favorite term.
Micro environment.
I would say micro environment
Oh,
might be
that's too
it,
funny.
right? So, but yeah, you close the Velcro and you get that micro environment, and
it's good stuff.
it's going to protect all of your.
And they're not
equipment.
crazy expensive. It's so worth
Cheap insurance,
the
man.
minuscule cost that these things cost. Like, you'll pay like $20 for a 5-pack of like the ammo can liners. Don't quote me on that price exactly, but it's in that
Those are the
range.
parts
like,
usually, but-
yeah, like
Wow.
maybe like $20 for 3 of the 50
Something-
cal.
yeah,
something like
it's
that.
very
The
reasonable.
full size rifle bag's like $25, so it's not like it's $100 or $80 or some ridiculous price that you're paying.
sure.
So amazing sponsors of the stream. Thank you.
Love those
so
guys.
Much.
Yeah, Mitch and Jason.
We
thank
also
you.
have. I was looking at Beyond Driven's Facebook.
Oh,
page
were you?
the other day? Yeah, and I noticed this. They have a very cool. They've always pitched themselves as not just a gym where you come in and you do your own thing, which is fine if that's what you want. I'm sure you
You
can
can do that,
there, of course.
100%.
But
We
they
do that.
They really, yeah. You guys have been going there.
Pat's been killing me.
We'll talk.
can
We'll
tell.
get
Yeah,
into
we'll get
that
into
a little
Feel
bit.
it. Wow. They really pride themselves, I think, because it shows, in their athletic training. That they can take your student athlete or just any type of athlete to the next level. No matter
Right.
what level they're at, they can take you there. So they have something, or they work with a device called Catapult. And it's a technology used by professional sports teams.
Okay.
So the Buffalo Bills, have you ever heard of them? Or
They're kind of a big deal around these parts, I would
There's
think.
teams, there's teams around here. Syracuse, something. I'm not sure. Syracuse, obviously.
I can't read.
I can't
Don't
read.
ask
I'm
me
very
shit.
bad at it. But basically, they can capture your top miles per hour sprinted, the distance traveled, number of sprints, calories burned, accelerations, and a player load of how much effort
Work.
they achieved. Yeah, right. So, for instance, a football player usually travels about 7 miles in a game, and a soccer player will travel 8 to 9 miles in one game of just moving around the field and whatnot. So they can use that data. You're all about the data driven is the way to.
I
when
do
you're trying
like to have
you got
data,
the shot
too.
timer. You've got a ton of techniques on the shooting side of how to, hey. You got to track. Oh, I think I'm doing better.
Right.
It doesn't do you any good.
No,
If you're
you got
serious
something
about it.
that's objective, is what you're saying.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You got something that's measurable, and I can look at the catapult information, and I can say, okay, this is telling me if I'm getting better, if I'm getting worse, if what I'm doing is getting me closer to my goal. I like that.
So basically, train like the pro athletes that you follow, or even the D1 athletes that you might have you've got student athletes in your
I do
household.
have
I'm sure they
student-
have people that they're looking up to, and it's like right here locally. You don't have to go to Rochester. You don't have to go to Buffalo. You don't have to go to big cities. For that kind of stuff. Right here in Leroy.
Yeah. No, right on Main Street in Leroy.
Yep.
Across from the McDonald's.
We've been there a couple of times just this week.
Yeah.
And I thought that went...
I almost thought that was Sean real
Well.
quick when I was scrolling through, but he's not.
Yeah, he's got the
nowhere
messy...
Near,
he's got the... Yeah, no,
nowhere
that
near
kid...
swole enough to be Sean. I mean,
No, maybe Sean a few years ago
before we started going to Beyond Driven.
hitting to the. Yeah, he loves it. He loves to go to the gym. So you love to go to the gym
That's so
as
fun.
well, right? We went there a couple times this week, and I thought that was very productive.
Me too.
Right.
It's been like since the accident and stuff. Like I haven't really gotten out there and gotten after it at all. And I'm finally at a place where I want to, at least try to get back to where I was before the fire and everything. And
Sure, yeah. It's time, right?
That's why I've recruited you, because I need that I need somebody to hold me accountable. Like, hey, I don't care how you feel. We're going to the gym.
Yeah,
Monday
no,
night, Tuesday,
it's
like,
it's
whatever.
important, right, to have somebody. It's hard to do it on your own.
It is.
I think, right?
And I mean, I go up by myself. If I'd go to by myself, I would just I just hit the machine. But like having
Sure.
you there, like showing me and like just kicking my ass, it's so helpful.
Like, oh, I have to do this 3 more times.
Yeah,
like,
geez.
wait, wait a minute.
you should hear me. I'm like, fuck you, old man. Like, how are you doing this? Like,
Yeah, it's easy to half-ass it, right?
Yeah.
When you're by yourself.
we were
kind
running the
of.
sleds, dude. The sleds look so easy on Instagram and online, but like when you're doing it, it's a lot. Like, it sucks.
It takes a certain amount of like technique, I think,
It's
to
funny.
really, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, getting your center of gravity lower is going to help out a lot. There's different stuff that you can do there to kind of make it a little bit easier on yourself. But yes, I think it's good to have somebody to go with and to kind of keep you accountable. I like it because like you're much younger than I am, obviously. So when I see you like kind of like suffering
Gassed.
a little bit, it's like, okay, this is good. Like let's turn it up a little bit more, or like let's
It's a
dial
little
it back a little bit.
Pat's over here. Like,
Yeah, exactly. If I had ears that could wiggle, they would be doing that exact thing. 100%. If I knew how to do that shit, I
we
would.
have got so much planned. We've got so much to talk about. We've got a ton of things. We actually brought guns out this stream. Did we not do that? Was it last stream? We just didn't even.
Oh,
bring
you
guns out.
guys, because what, Dwayne
even
was
have
here, so you
guns.
guys
Yeah.
just think
Yeah,
you're
it
too
was
cool
just-
for school?
Or no, we did. We had guns with Dwayne because we were handling some. Maybe it was a stream before. There was a
Were we
stream where
handling
just,
guns with Dwayne?
Oh, no, we brought some
That
out.
seems
We just never
irresponsible.
talked about
Yeah.
them.
That's right. That's right. So
For legal
we'll make
reasons, Dwayne wasn't
we will
allowed to
make sure-
possess
And I brought an AR out this time. Like we do still sell them. We really haven't been talking about them as much, but like.
And that one's actually
do-
halfway decent, so
Yeah,
we'll
it's a
definitely talk about that
Smith &
one.
Wesson with an optic for $7.99. I mean, hard to beat that.
Yeah, actually, we get questioned about cheap carbines all the time. My pops asked a question like 2 weeks
That's the
ago
one.
about a cheap carbine, so
Yeah.
that was
It's hard-
one
hard to
that
beat the
kind of came up
the
a little
Grandpa
bit.
just picked one up, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dope.
Are we giving something away? Does
think we're
that
giving
what
a
we do?
couple things
Do we give
away.
stuff away?
Yeah.
Once in a...
Is that a
So
thing?
we're
What
giving
away?
away a few things today. I want in the future to kind of do like a week-long giveaway
Yeah, that'd be
because
cool.
I think there's a lot of people that kind of also watch us on Spotify or listen on Spotify next day,
Ooh.
and I want to somehow include
Yeah.
them. So we're still
We
thinking about
should-
week-long giveaways.
We
But
should like include some type of like. Can we voice over something right now? And like right now,
Onomatopoeia.
you could be telling us like a secret password that you're only going to hear if you listen to this on those streaming platforms,
Yeah,
Spotify afterwards.
I think I can make that work tomorrow.
That'd be cool. That'd
I'll
be
try and get it out tomorrow,
What time is
Friday.
it? Can you like write down what time it is for this?
In the stream, 10 minutes, 30 seconds.
So yeah, we are giving stuff away tonight. There's a little clue up in front of you here. What do you want to talk about those, or what else do we have?
Let's talk about that Spotify thing. So that 10-minute, 30-second password we just dropped. Drop that in our next stream, and the first person to say the password gets glasses.
Yeah, let's give some loopholes away next
Yeah.
week.
So we'll
That's
give
a good
loopholes.
idea.
Yeah.
I like that. I
Okay.
like that. You know what we're gonna give away this week? It's weird, but these are super cool. These are genuine. Where's that package? Where did it go? These are genuine F-16.
Jesus, man.
It's fine. Whatever that was. These are genuine F-18. Sorry, so it's like two better than the F-16.
That's two more.
Headsets from the U.S. military, still sealed in the packaging.
Wow.
Now this one doesn't say, but there was one of them. You know, when you buy stuff from GovPlanet, it tells you like how much the government paid for these. These are $5,000 that we paid for these headsets.
How much?
$5,000.
I'm not even a little
3,000?
surprised.
$5,000.
I can't hear you,
Yeah,
dude.
because they're really good, right?
And then you're able to get them for what?
So we've been selling these. We've sold a couple of them. They're a weird niche collector's piece. I have no idea. There's a plug on the end. I'm not an electronics guy. I have no idea if you can get that to work with anything. We plugged them into our
I mean, I bet if
radios.
you're an aviator, like my
You would know what to
father-in-law
do.
is some
Yeah.
sort of aviator, I'm told. I've been
like
in
you go
airplanes
to what's one of like the museum ships? Is there an aircraft carrier museum ship? Is that
and-
the
100%.
Sure.
It's not the Eisenhower, but there's one of them, right? You could go the Enterprise. Is that one? No, that's on the show.
Dude, I have.
Are you
Sorry,
yawning or
show.
talking? I can't
Shut
tell.
up! So we sell these in the shop. We always get, because I'm a weirdo, we get weird militaria and oddball collectible stuff from time
Why
to
not?
time. Usually when I drink and I go on auction sites, it's
That's
so
a-
weird how
it's a
that's when
problem.
things happen.
It's a
like that.
problem. Yeah.
So we are only charging $100 for these because I think they're a pretty rare. You know, if you're into aviation collectibles and things like that. So we're gonna give one away tonight, and I don't know. I'm in a generous mood. Maybe we'll give away more stuff. Do we have any comments, any questions, anything we should
I
address?
bet we have some concerns.
People say that.
My-
People
no
say
doubt.
our stream sucks. So I figured out what the problem is. It's Facebook trying to you're buffering essentially. So pull it back like 3 seconds, and you should be fine. We're not going to do any. People are saying
so
the
weird
quality
when we
is
did it
low.
my way with it plugged into my laptop and with an issue. Just kidding.
Interesting.
I'm sure it's the thing you said.
We'll roll right now. We can fight on camera.
Flip the table.
Listen, I gotta get out of the way.
Listen,
I don't want to be involved in any of that shit.
okay, do we have any positive comments that aren't emotionally destroying to my psyche?
Someone asking about the lever action behind
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's what I was
okay.
gonna
Let's
say.
talk about some guns. We always wait so long to talk about guns.
That's true,
This
and we do
is-
like guns around here.
Mister.
All right.
Why don't you take that? And
Well, let me open this section here. What the fuck is going on here?
Don't worry about it, Pat.
I am worried about it.
So this comes with all the original furniture, which I don't have.
Good.
But
but that's the point of this one. This is a Henry X, right? Like this is their tactical. I don't know if you want to be Chris Pratt, right?
Oh well,
Not that
this
he
one
would've
is
used this.
357.
I know, he used the
so-
4570, but
Yeah, and that was a Marlin as well. But yeah, I mean,
just to be cool,
look,
I guess.
if
know?
you want to be cool, then this gun might be for you.
It comes with some ammo. It comes with a very nice loopholed scope.
Yeah.
The Henry Model X's are very hard to find, like a lot of the Henry products.
Uh-huh,
So that's a lot of the mystique of that one.
It's got a lot of ammunition storage here on the stock, which
Pretty
I
sweet.
like. Yeah.
Definitely kind of going for that survivalist, like the guy who buys this will probably have a 357 mag revolver, right?
Yeah, I
You
would
have that
imagine so, right?
companionship, right?
And
have an
it's got a
Alexa
nice rubber butt. I mean, it's kind of interesting. The thing that I notice about all of this stuff here is it's probably adding some weight
Sure.
to the gun.
I like the rail. I like the front The front
I
half.
think the handguard is kind of cool. I like the QD point here, and it looks like the QD point would obviously attach any point here. And I do like how it's got the Strike Industries little hand stop guy there.
Let me trade you because I think you're gonna like. I know you don't like shotguns, but I
I'm
think you're-
not generally a
I
fan,
think you're gonna
but
like that.
You kind of have to now because you can have a semi-auto, bro.
you make an interesting point. So yeah, this one is a Beretta
Is that the new A300? Yeah.
Yeah. And my favorite part, I think, is it's got QD points up here, and it's got M-LOK attachments here and
And-
underneath.
For the stock. Josiah brought that up to me earlier. That's a QD point hidden
Oh,
down
is
there
it?
for the stock. Yeah, you take that plug out.
Yeah, there's a rubber plug under it. It's-
Dope. I
So
like
this
that.
is Beretta USA competing with Beretta Italy,
It's pretty neat.
which is
Yeah.
kind of funny. And Beretta
And-
Italy is a 1301.
I think for the price, I mean, what is it?
I like the
how,
ghost
how
ones.
much? How many Arizona cans do you need to buy that one?
This one is going to cost you 1050 Arizona cans.
And that one's 625 more. So
That's a lot of Arizona cans.
It's a lot of pasta.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Barilla. Barilla?
Wow. That
Maria?
spaghetti blaster costs
I'm
$600
Irish, not
more.
Italian.
You're telling me that the Italian one costs $600 more than the US made one?
Right? I mean,
You're out of your mind.
it is, I guess on paper, the 1301 family is supposed to be better, right? Than,
All right.
because you can tell if something's better if it costs more. So it's better than the A300s.
I don't know,
A300s are
man.
good. Well, they're just different, aren't they? Aren't they truly like different?
Dude, I am not a shotgun.
It's probably a terrible thing to admit, but yeah, I'm not as spun up on those as we should. We should get some
I'm
training.
On what?
not a
The
shotgun
1301s and stuff?
Yeah, like what's the difference?
So-
other than obviously the price.
The gas, I want to say the A3, I might be getting this wrong, don't hate me. I think the A300 is gas operated, and
1301 's
McArdle, you
inertia.
might have to help me on this one. The 1301, is it inertia?
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, it's inertia driven versus gas driven.
So
I mean,
at the end of the
reliability, I'm
day-
assuming, is higher with the inertia driven.
But you're paying $600 more for no QDs and no M-LOKs.
The Italian one tells you not to, like, don't worry about it.
Hey,
Yeah, and
Don't worry about
unless the Italian one actually shoots pasta in addition to shotgun shells, I am not.
safety's over here. The trigger's over here.
I think
you
it does
reload it
shoot,
over here.
like, it does shoot linguine, if I'm...
That would be. See, now you got my interest
Oh,
up.
my gosh.
I did see that you had some frickin' comments.
Some frickin' comments, yeah.
What ones that you had like? I mean, I can see that we have ones here, or questions rather. Were you working on a little thing over here?
The live stream?
Yeah.
This is a little document that Josiah and I have where we can like send each other like little nub notes.
I love it.
Aw,
You guys are amazing.
tell him I said hi.
I love you. Brandon says hi.
Because he won't know. There's otherwise. There's no
So
way to
yeah,
know.
I guess so. We asked a post earlier, and for questions, just because we sometimes we like to get some pre questions before the
Beforehand,
stream,
right? Yeah.
which none of you guys responded to.
Nobody
Thanks
saw
for
it.
that.
Nobody.
Makes my ego feel real good when that happens. But one of the cool questions I thought we had was about suppressors and how we get one in New York,
Sure.
which kind of sucks because the answer is you can't unless you
Yeah.
have
The
money.
cool thing is you don't.
The cool thing, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But isn't it like 49 states you can own suppressors in?
It's a lot. I don't know if it's 49, but it's more than 30, and it's probably more than 40. Most states in the U.S., especially for hunting purposes, you can own a suppressor. Obviously, you have to go through the federal tax stamp side of it. You have to pay $200. Generally, you have to wait a very long time. I think now it's upwards of a year to a year and a half before you get your stuff. The ATF continues to try to make that faster with the e-forms and whatnot, but just the volume of people that are applying, it's intense. So you just sometimes we don't do a lot of NFA stuff. The only NFA stuff we really do is to departments that when they, request, hey, we're trying to build up these rifles in a specific way, can you
Help
can you
us
do that
source
for
and
us?
stuff,
Yeah, and I don't know. Obviously, that's a point of contention for some in the gun community, and I understand that. We do have to run a legitimate business here, I guess, and for us to have all the other NFA items that we have, not that anyone's like called us out on it, but I like to justify it and at least be able to say like, well, we do have contracts. Like, it's not like we did this one time 10 years ago and we've kept the license ever since just so we can play with the toys, which it does allow for that. We actually do legitimate business. We need the license, I guess. So
and that is important.
Right, and someone is going to sell them that stuff. I do like to keep it local. We're working directly with like the Genesee County Sheriff's
I was going to say, it's
Department.
not like we hate law enforcement around here,
Right,
too, right?
right.
Like, obviously, our local law enforcement, like, if we need somebody to help with something, we'd like to have somebody
One
call,
thing that
so-
we are pretty strict on here, which I do think sets us aside and causes some contention with the law enforcement community, is generally a lot of other gun shops you can just like show your badge and buy whatever you want, right? And we generally don't do that. I would almost say completely don't do that. You have to come in with a letter like saying you need this for work. Like your boss on the letterhead has to say, yeah, Officer so-and-so, like, he can buy it with his money, but, like, he needs it for his job. Then we'll do it.
And again, we're
Like,
getting a lot of slack for that because, you guys don't black the blue, but, like, I can't have it, so sorry.
Right. They don't get to take their squad car and run red lights whenever they want.
They can't drive in their Tacoma, go 100 miles per hour. Like,
So-
I'm not-
Well, and people are gonna give you shit no matter what you do. If you don't sell to law enforcement, then you're not
Right.
back in the blue.
Right.
If you do sell to law enforcement, you're a fucking bootlicker or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what
will
are you
just
gonna do?
always support civilians. Like, if I can't have it,
Yeah.
you
Right.
shouldn't either.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So to that end, really other than obviously being a police officer with the type of job where you could ask your chief or whoever, for that type of letter, which is probably rare. I think most of the big departments, that's not going to happen, and some of the smaller ones even. Why do you do it to
They're not
justify
gonna put
it,
the-
you
yeah,
know
they're
what I
not
mean?
gonna-
Yeah. And then even there's limits. You can't just go buy a machine gun. You can't just do things like that. Excuse me. Now, we are an FFL, right? We're a New York State dealer. We're a New York State gunsmith.
Right.
We have also paid our special occupation tax so that we are allowed to deal in machine guns and NFA items, suppressors, all those lovely, AOWs, all those types of things. Anything but explosives, basically.
Yet.
Yeah, that's coming.
But I'm not going to do it. I'll let you do it.
I like all my fingers.
The whitest kid you
I'll
know.
watch.
Like, I love that, like, the guy with no arms working in the mine factory. Have you seen that skit? You haven't seen the
I
whitest
haven't
kid? Oh
seen
my
that.
god. That's
I
like
know
the
whitest
best.
kids you know.
That's
I know,
the best, the whitest kids you know.
I know them very well. So it is relatively easy to get your FFL.
Rest in peace, Trevor.
Obama made it slightly harder. And you do have to, play the guys up. You have to be opening a business. You can't just do it. They do have a collector FFL, but it's not the one we're talking about.
Right.
So you have to get your FFL, $150 for 3 years. You obviously have to have like some type of storefront, or you do it out of your house. And now in New York State, there's a ton of requirements for if you're going to be a dealer.
You gotta
New York
have
State has a ton of
storage and
requirements.
all sorts of shit.
It used to obviously be a lot easier, and there were a lot of people that had what were called kitchen table FFLs that had, they would do 5 transactions a year for their buddies, and now they could buy stuff at a discount, and it's fun. There's nothing wrong with that.
You should be able to do that.
There are still a lot of dealers that just operate out of their home, and that's how it should be, absolutely. And then you're a dealer, $150 for 3 years, you're cool. Then you pay either, depending on your volume, $500 or $1,000 per year, and then you can deal in NFA items as well, right? So it's not really another license. A lot of people just say you have your Class 3 license, but it's not really a license.
It's more like a tax, right?
Did you pay the tax? Yep, you can do it. Cool.
Stupid.
It's very dumb. It's very dumb. I think if you're interested in firearms, obviously the rub with having, say you lived in another state where you could just own NFA items, meaning suppressors, machine guns built before 1986 if you have the money for that, which they're very expensive, and anything else, the Serbu, Super Shorty, any weird AOW things, right? You can own all those stuff.
Right.
$200. So every suppressor you buy, $200 tax, and like I said, you're going to wait a year to get it. If you're an FFL, you're tax exempt because you're a dealer just facilitating a transfer, right? So you're tax exempt, and the transfer time is like 4 days.
Right.
Because it's going from one dealer to another dealer, you're just like auto approved. Like obviously they're okay because they're a dealer. So I've always said, like, even if I were to close up, say 20 years from now I retire, I move to somewhere else that's not New York, I could just go buy that kind of stuff. I think I might still keep an FFL. I might start up another little LLC just to deal in, basically if you buy 3 suppressors a year, it evens out as far as the tax stamp stuff goes, right?
Sure.
So it's kind of how I see it, but
No, absolutely. If I ever convince April to move to like New Hampshire or to like Tennessee, I would definitely get an FFL and just be able to. But New Hampshire's kind of different.
And some of those states too, like Texas, you could make your own suppressor if you live in Texas and you're not going to sell it, because like Texas doesn't recognize like federal laws and some of that stuff. Or there's a couple states like that where you can just
Missouri.
Here's a dude with a lathe, you can just do it.
Missouri is crazy too, because if it's made in Missouri,
that might be one of them too. Yeah,
you can like straight up. But so if it's like a machine gun, but it's made in Missouri and you live in Missouri, you ain't got to do anything. You just buy a machine gun.
So that's the other thing too. Like if you are a manufacturer, you can take. I mean, think about it. Like Colt or FN or whoever. Like someone has to make the guns for the military or for law enforcement or whoever is legally allowed to own them these days.
For sure.
Pretty much those two. And we have the right licenses. Like we could take an AR-15 and drill the things, make whatever. Like we could make an AR-15 if we wanted to. Take a raw piece of steel, put the serial numbers on it. Like we legally can do it. I'm not saying we have the technical capabilities to do it.
I think we're pretty close.
We're close. We're close. We might be building. We might be building.
Yeah, I think we could probably.
Yeah.
I think we could probably figure it out.
Buy it, bro. How hard is it?
Harbor Freight's right up the road. Like,
Done a couple 80s.
if they don't sell it,
right?
you don't need it, right?
I want to talk about guns now.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about guns. So we got a Smith.
Explain it in thick detail.
I have to take this off because this is very hot.
In thick detail. Okay,
We got people that listen to us on Spotify and stuff. So
okay, that's fair enough. So here we have a Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 2, right? We have a bird cage here. It looks weird to me for some reason. I'm not really sure why. We have a barrel 1 in 9 twist. Kind of an H-bar profile. It's got a pinned gas block here that's got a rail on it. It's got a handguard, a really thin taper carbine length handguard.
what kind of handguard is that? It's not an M-Lock. That's not quad.
No, it's just like the old mil-spec 2-piece plastic one, right? It's got a delta ring. It is a flat top gun. And it has just a regular mil-spec charging handle, phosphate bolt carrier group, and it's got a fixed 10-round Magpul P-Mag. Too much lubrication.
Wait,
Would you rather have too much or too little?
I mean, obviously, I would prefer to have too much from the factory.
I'm a masochist, so
Jesus Christ.
It's got M4 feed ramps, and yeah, it's a nice looking gun for $7.99 Arizona cans with Crimson Trace.
if you need something, if you just need something, like you're not really gonna get much better than that. For just a quick, I'm defenseless. I need a firearm.
Yep.
Or I want to get into ARs and I don't want to spend a lot of money and I want to get used to the platform before I either build or upgrade heavily. Like it's such a good starting rifle.
The selling point on this gun, to me, honestly, is the fact that it's got a pinned and indexed gas block. Because I know that the gas system reliability is going to be there. It is carbine length, so that might kind of suck unless you do something about the buffer setup. You might want to switch to something slightly heavier, or maybe like a Springco blue carbine length spring or something of that nature.
I like that it doesn't have the front sight post as well. I like that they kind of got rid of that.
Yeah.
They have flat top, so the optic.
The neat trick with that gas block is there's a QD in the bottom of it.
Yeah, that is
that is cool.
I do like that.
You and the QDs. He's like the QD master.
He sees them, man. Josiah sees the QD
He
points.
just glows like in a video game.
No, that's good because I'm an options fan, right? Like I also like to have various ways to mount slings and different stuff like that. So let's talk about the twist rate though. 1 in 9 twist on that guy. So I don't really favor a 1 in 9 twist in general.
What is twist for those that don't know?
So the twist
Chocolate
rate,
and vanilla.
that's called a swirl.
That's like 1 and 2 twist, right?
It's the old 1-2 combo. No, when we talk about twist rate, we're talking about the bullets as they're leaving the barrel, right? They're being spun by the rifling, and the rifling.
So 1 to 9, like from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m.
the bullets are just
rifling.
turning all the time. No, it's one turn every 9 inches, one rotation.
So the bullet
right?
makes one full
revolution, 360 degrees every 9 inches of travel. 1 and 7 inch twist means that the bullet's spinning a little bit faster, right? The advantage of a faster twist rate is that it's going to give me better predictable trajectories downrange for heavier bullets, right? Because it's going to spin them
Faster.
a little bit faster, which gives them more stability as they get farther away from my muzzle, right? So past, say, 400 yards, M8, not M855, XM193 55 grain ammo, which is probably what you're going to be shooting if you're shooting 1 and 9 twist, it can start to get a little bit weird in the wind after, say,
Such a
300 or
such a light
400. It's a
projectile.
very light projectile, right? So it starts to do weird stuff, and it's not as predictable. So you want to shoot something heavier, maybe 62, maybe 73. There's some cool 73 grain projectiles out there. Maybe 77s, right?
That's 77 though.
The 77 is
That's
like
my favorite.
what everybody seems to really like, right? Which is awesome. The Sierra Match Kings, everybody likes those, but you need a 1 and 7 twist barrel for those. Even 1 and 8 twist barrel really doesn't do as well with 77s, right? So I like a 1 and 8 twist barrel personally because it gives me the ability to kind of play both ends of the spectrum a little bit.
I know you like that. Yeah.
But I'm also not able to get the same amount of distance out of the 77 grain bullets as I would probably get, just because like they're not spinning as fast, right? So I'm not going to be able to take advantage of the length of that bullet.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And it's something, like you will learn with almost any hobby at the surface level. Like that rifle shoots 5.56. You're going to be fine to an extent.
Don't worry about twist.
2, 3, maybe even 400 meters, not going to matter.
And
like,
when you start shooting, like, nobody has any business realistically thinking about what happens to my bullet
Right.
after it gets
Right.
past 400 yards in,
guess
in general, right?
The best way to put it, if you're buying a Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 2, you probably shouldn't be worrying about twist.
sure. And
Twist rate is probably not the first thing that you're thinking
Yes.
about. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, why
absolutely.
I wouldn't necessarily.
But it is something
If I was going
to
to buy that gun, I wouldn't.
It is
necessarily
a
do it.
factor, and it's one of the things, like you mentioned, when you
We're going to start thinking
because
about
of-
eventually.
because of the gas system and how that rifle's set up, it's going to recoil a certain way. The felt recoil is going to be a certain experience compared to a tuned rifle like yours,
Right.
or
So somebody asked a question in the chat. 62 grain bullets would probably be the maximum as far as like 1 and 9 twist, and I'd say that that's accurate. But I'd even say again, like there you get into a situation where out at distance that bullet is under stabilized, which is why you really don't get the maximum capability out of your 16-inch barrels.
I so wish we
shooting.
had a reliable 5, 6, 700 yard range.
So
real-
hard here.
Someday.
I know a place that we can go, but I mean I don't know how the access is.
Right. Like, yeah, we have a
have to hit up
farmer
Will.
that we haven't been in a long time, but we used to shoot like a couple times a year out at a farmer in Wyoming County at his field, and he had, what was it, like 1,200 you could get to easily, like without even really trying. Like, yeah, we gotta.
That would be a lot of
that.
fun. Yeah, we should
It
really. It'd be good to get out and make some content around that because we don't do that all that much.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be pretty honest, like just representation of like, hey, if you have a gun and you shoot it sometimes, like we don't shoot
Yeah.
a ton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to shoot a whole lot to put more rounds through your gun than I do.
You learn a lot though from even just trying and shooting at those distances, just because a lot of us don't get to do it, like to actually understand bullet drop and how much the wind can affect things, like
And just all the little input that you put on the guns,
Mm-hmm.
all the little shit that you're doing, all the stupid things, all the weird variations in your position.
all so much magnified.
Yeah, you don't realize it, or just the advantage of having like a 3x magnified optic versus having nothing like
Sure,
a
like rifle
dot
sights
or
or
whatever.
iron sights,
Well, yeah,
or even
iron
dot, or
sights
even
for
dot. Yeah.
dot is like
Yeah.
Or iron sights is a whole different world for some people. A lot of people never get to experience that. And that's one of the reasons why when Ty was like, I like the fact that the front sight post has been kind of deleted from that gun, I'm kind of like, I don't necessarily agree with just having...
Well, you can put Magpul flip down. Like, you can put flip up sights on
You
it.
could do whatever
You're
you
not
want.
stuck.
To, yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, in general, I think
you're
it's
old.
cool.
Eyes are hard.
I think it's cool to be old.
It is
Because I'm getting
It is
old.
cool.
And wait a second, I might be old. Say that to me on Monday when we're at the gym.
Oh, I will. I've been telling you that you're old. Like, God damn it,
Step
old
into the
man.
ring.
Say me that on Monday.
Do we have any questions that are pressing or just interesting or whatever?
What's up? Make sure you unmute yourself when you talk too there, buddy.
Okay, I guess so. There's a new one in the chat. I was just saying, look at the chat. There's a new.
Question.
Whoa.
Questions.
Ty, you should.
So while we're working on a question,
where'd
I
you
do
get
want
your
to talk
degree
about
from, son?
these spectacles up here, and you might want to call these sunglasses, but you would be wrong. Can we go to camera 5 up here? Look at these. I know they're all smudgy. That's a terrible example. Why don't you give me another pair over here? Those are literally like my pair that I wear, so they're disgusting. So we have started carrying. Look at these. Look at how fancy these look.
They are
These
dope.
are Leupold performance eyewear. That's right. All right, we can switch back to a regular cam. Do not call these sunglasses. These are designed, machined, assembled, packaged 100% in the USA.
I
Right?
have those exact ones, but in
Those are the ones you have, yeah?
Then gray.
They have several different styles here. We've got them up here. They are... The thing that I like about them is that they are not just glasses or like normal sunglasses that just protect you from the sun. They do a great job of that.
Sure.
Full UV protection, right? They're not just some cheap... there was a time where I would just go into the gas station and buy the cheap sunglasses, right?
Right.
All you need is a pair of cheap sunglasses. But the thing that scares me with those is it's just tinted plexiglass or whatever that doesn't actually block
like
UV light.
polycarbonate
Yeah,
or
like it
something.
doesn't do anything other than it just tints a little bit. These are actual UV protecting, so you're protecting your eyesight, which is incredible.
Right.
And they're ballistically rated.
Yes.
So they are
So you can get shot
eye
in the face.
protection. Right. They are not, obviously, like, yeah, you're not going to take a 9mm to the face, but there is a standard. I believe they typically use a pellet gun, like a .177 caliber projectile of some kind, in a very controlled setting, obviously. But there's a standard that these meet.
Wiley X
And,
uses shotguns.
Is that what they use? Yeah.
It's the ANSI Z87.
So there you go. Yeah, there's a set standard that they apply themselves to, and they pass with flying colors. Obviously, they're Leupold. So we have a lot of these in stock. They range from $100 to $139, and we're gonna give one away. And obviously everybody has different aesthetic tastes. Here, I'm gonna wear mine.
They
Pat,
do
why
have
don't
a
you pick
bunch
out-
of. They do have a bunch of different.
Why'd you grab
Styles.
the tortoise ones? Okay, you're good.
I think they're all pretty
I like
much
the
the
tortoise
same.
ones.
Like
That's the one I rock.
We have black
Aesthetic.
ones and gray ones, not just the tortoise ones.
so.
They got
Yeah,
all the tortoise ones.
I have the. Yeah, you did, dude.
Did I really?
So
That's
I have
one
the
like.
gray framed version of these with the blue tinted lens, and the quality of the lenses is terrific.
very nice.
Some of you guys probably have seen me. I do. I have Edge eyewear that I have kind of done a lot of like talking about in the past. I really like their stuff, and they make a high quality product as well. These, I think, optically, like the glass when I look through it,
Sure.
is just better.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
the clarity on the loopholes is crazy.
I mean,
As
and
you'd
you
expect.
expect,
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Leupold,
yeah.
that's kind of what you're looking for, right?
And as a lot of you know, it's important to me. They're made in America. I think that's a very important aspect of them. Can you buy cheaper sunglasses? Of course you can. But, these are good Americans doing
Yes.
good, honest jobs. And I don't know. I really like them. We just got them in maybe, 6 months ago. I've been trying to use these for pretty much my daily drivers. They're all smudged up, but I'm pretty rough on these. I certainly don't baby them. Obviously, they're not cheap, so I keep that in the back of my mind, I guess, which I kind of like about them too. It's like I'm going to
Right.
protect these a little bit, but I like how well the coating, whatever the coatings are, and I was talking when I went to the Big Rock show about that, about how durable the coatings are, and the reason that is because it's actually sandwiched in between, right? So on a lot of cheaper sunglasses, the coating's on the outside layer because that's the easiest way to do it.
Sure.
And it's very easy to chip it off and break it off. Even something like Ray-Bans. Like I have a pair of Ray-Bans that's happening too, and they're all like looking kind of crappy now.
Right.
The loopholes, that's not going to happen because they are sandwiched in between like other layers of glass. Probably how they reach that ANSI safety rating as well. So the coating is actually protected by other layers of glass. So I just think that's really cool.
That is very intelligent design.
I think they made them very sharp. Obviously, I was biased. I was only looking at the color of the lenses, I guess, on the boxes, but we have probably 30 to 40 pair.
These are
of
very
these. So there's different styles.
stylish
There's, I think,
shape.
like there's gray ones, like you said. There's plain black ones. There's like blue lenses like these. There's bronze lenses, I think, which is what these ones are, or more like almost kind of plain. No, these are bronze, right? So we have a bunch of different kinds. We were supposed to get a display, which just hasn't shown up yet. So soon there will be some on display, and they'll be easier to see like the different styles. Because right now they're on a box, so it's kind of hard, or they're in their boxes. Somewhere, I don't have my glasses on, but somewhere there's where's the one that I opened? Where's like the little pouch that you get? Yeah, so you get like a nice little hard case. The packaging is really nice for what it's worth. I'm kind of a sucker for that kind of stuff. Like if you buy something, like there are some companies which, you can go either way with this. There are some companies, and there are some very nice rifle companies, where you'll buy their rifle, and it comes in the plainest cardboard box,
Right.
and like you don't get anything with it, right? And it's like, well, you bought the gun. What else do you want, right? And then there's companies, I don't know, I feel like Apple's kind of one of those, where like they put a lot of thought into the packaging, and that's just part of the experience, maybe. And Loophole did the same on this. The packaging is just very nice.
I've noticed a lot of
You know.
companies are doing that recently, like HoloSun, I feel like, does a good job with like
Sure.
their little boxes for their
Yeah,
optics.
yeah.
When you take the stuff out, everything's got like a nice custom cutout in the foam,
Mm-hmm.
and the tools are in there in a
Shows
very nice
attention
way.
to detail. Like
Yeah.
I get both
I
sides.
like this,
like
yes.
we don't want to spend any money on stuff that's not important. Like we spend it all on the product.
I like the presentation.
But I like presentation
of
yeah.
this, yes. But I also like the minimalist. I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, it depends on what I'm buying, right? In this case, if I'm spending $140 on sunglasses, it's like a little treat. I don't spend
Sure,
a lot of money
sure.
on sunglasses in general. So yeah,
What's the difference
this,
between the 99 and the 140?
To be honest, I think it's just different styles, and we may have bought them at different price points too. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think
What it
it's
is.
lens size. I think some of them are
yeah, I think some
the
of it's
smaller
like just the
lenses.
design of like
Like
these
those ones
lenses
are
are
huge.
smaller, these
Yeah.
lenses are a little bit bigger. These ones caught my eye just no.
See, those are pretty cool.
Someone had a great idea.
No, it's the ones that Tyler's wearing. I was looking for.
Oh,
Yeah.
the tortoise ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
the other
'cause-
tortoise ones.
well, it's just the whole
tortoise ones?
size of those.
Should
yeah.
be our new profile picture, us wearing sunglasses. So we have to stare at the camera real cool and
But it's-
make us look cool. So
But
it'll
it's
be.
night.
I would
The sun never sets on a badass, dude. You should know this.
Oh man.
Oh,
So
trust me, it's.
You gotta pose. It's gonna be our new profile
come
picture.
down. Boom.
Well, we can just grab a still from this anytime we want. We've been.
Do you know how hard it is to grab stills on? It's hard, okay?
I do-
From the guy that grabs stills, trust me, it's just.
you grab a lot of shit on this live stream. It seems like.
Yes,
my God,
lens does matter. The size of the lens does matter.
Oh, for sure. Because yes, let's say that you get some sort of a catastrophic malfunction in a firearm, and your eyes are not totally covered in like with a wraparound style of lens. You could get some sort of damage to like your orbital bones or whatnot, and then it's gonna mess up your whole situation still. So yeah, I would say that more protection is going to be better. Just as somebody who's seen a lot of shit go wrong around eye holes and with guns.
Give me my
Yeah.
eye holes.
Protect your eyeballs, and don't come down here and call them sunglasses. Don't do it.
Oh, thanks,
Don't do it.
Jeremiah. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, Jeremiah is hunkering down in, I think he said Tennessee, or North, yeah. North Fort Hood. from the
Oh,
Twister.
bro, stay safe.
Straight out of Bergen.
Indeed.
Yeet yeet.
So, excuse me, I'm sorry. Do you have any more
Yeah, we got
commentary from the or like questions or What's
How are people going to win
What are
glasses?
people
Did you
saying?
go over that?
We did.
Password,
Remember
they're gonna
the
say
password.
the-
They're gonna get a little secret.
They're gonna say the
password.
safe
So you
word.
gotta try to tune
Safe-
in
no.
to. Was it this stream? This stream was for these, right? The password was for these. Now we're all confused.
we're gonna have to
Dude, I've
listen
had a
to
whole
it
half a
on-
beer.
I
Like,
think
you
the
want me to?
sunglasses were next
Whoa,
week.
it's getting lit.
We'll give
And
away
then
the
the
sunglasses.
head-
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
the
think we're gonna
headset was
give
this
like the
week.
password and the sunglasses are like
Next week.
Yeah,
what
we're
you
gonna sneak a password into this live stream.
earlier in the stream.
Right.
We
Yeah,
already-
again
we
now.
already-
Around the
Now I'm gonna make you do it
10:30.
again. Now you're gonna say it right now too.
But at like 45, 49.
So there's a password, and then you have to enter it. The first person to comment on next week's stream, this password we're gonna give you, you'll win. And it can be anyone you want. It
Do you
doesn't
already
have to be the tortoise
Do you already
ones.
know what the password is?
Yes.
He's gonna do that in post.
We're gonna voice it over.
We're gonna voice it over, and then the first person to drop the
No,
password.
but I'm just saying. Do you
in the next
know
stream.
what the password is gonna be? Have you like selected one?
Yes, Pat.
Okay.
It'll be our safe word.
Jeez. Okay, so
It can't be chinchilla.
Oh my gosh, all viewers.
the
Down.
yeah, the glasses range in price from $100 to $140 for those of you who did not catch that before. Yes, Todd. Obviously, it's going to be our favorite word. Is going to be penis.
So I'm embarrassed that we've gone this long on the stream without bringing it up. Freedom Weekend. Freedom Weekend this year, June 10th and 11th.
Both days.
That's right,
That's
both
2 days. That's a
days.
Saturday and a Sunday. 2
And
days.
you're going to want to come both days. I like coming all days, but you're going to want to come both days because
You can't say that.
this is not
It's
a family
just
show.
buried in the-
Freedom Weekend is a family event. I guess it's going to be. I can't wait to tell you about the puritanical or the
Puritanical?
Puritans that work here. Man, they're fucking Quakers.
Here?
Right? Yeah.
No,
I
come
thought we had
on.
some cool people doing cool stuff, but apparently not.
Not that cool.
Not into cool stuff, I guess. But June 10th and 11th, you're going to want to come down here both days because we're going to have giveaways where you'll get 2 entries. If
Yeah.
you come down only on one day, you're only going to get 1 chance to win, and that's
Sure.
that doesn't make sense. You're going to want both chances to win.
You want to have 2 chances to win. Two's
Yeah.
more than one.
Yeah, that is a fact. That's a scientific fact. So we have some very exciting things planned. It's going to be bigger and better than ever.
Yeah.
We have a dunk tank
I love it.
that we were experimenting with some.
Ooh, experimentation. is good.
Yes. We had some very fun ideas on how we're going to activate the dunk tank. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of fun with that. We have
Oh, it's
a.
Dwayne.
I keep wanting to say a chicken barbecue. We're gonna do a fried chicken dinner. I
Yeah.
wore my favorite company's shirt, Chicken Out. I don't know if you can see it. Can we cut to the? You're not gonna see it really up here. If we cut to camera 5, it's too far away. Chicken Out.
That's you can see that.
Oh, flip it back,
okay.
flip it back, flip it
Oh
back.
yeah, duh. Is this good?
Chicken out.
Take my breath away.
Yo, you guys are getting
chicken-
handsy over here.
Chicken Out, if you haven't tried it, is a very, very
mom's watching.
hot and spicy fried chicken with, they put honey on it. They call that stung. Oh, it's so good.
It is
So
very.
good.
If you've
I've
never had
had
chicken out, you don't know what you're
I've
missing.
had chicken out chicken on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
That's a
I think
Rochester
it's-
thing.
Yes,
Because
it's
we have
very
people that
good.
listen all over the place, so,
So
they don't know.
we're gonna
but
do a
so good.
fundraiser. We have been talking to FPC, Firearms Policy Coalition.
It's too soon.
We
Too
can't.
soon,
Yeah,
but
we can't make any promises, but
We're trying
just
really
let's
hard.
just say that like when you reach out to a group like that and you see about having them come to an event and you get a response, that's amazing, right? And to have a continual dialogue with
Back and
with a
forth,
group
and
like
we're
that,
like,
like with
hey,
the heads of a group like that,
maybe we can-
even just having that conversation, it like
Yeah.
sends us over the moon. Like that's
Sure.
amazing. So we can't make any promises, but we are going to do a fundraiser for FPC. They're one of the premier gun rights organizations out there.
Yes.
We're going to do them for other organizations too, but
Sure.
the chicken dinner is going to support them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have some tickets coming up. That's going to be like a gun giveaway and a raffle and a dinner and a whole thing. That'll
it.
be on Sunday, right? So that'll be your reason to come down here on Sunday.
But you can get tickets for on Saturday too, so you can.
We're going to do a machine gun shoot. We've got a few now. We're working on building more. And we have friends that have a lot more because they're dealers, right?
Yeah.
So we're working on bringing a very exciting machine gun shoot to all of you.
Yes.
And this year we're going all the way, baby.
Yes.
There's fireworks at 10 o'clock.
I
The
love
park
it.
does that day. So we have some live music planned for late night.
Yes.
We have a bonfire planned for late night. So there's going to be like a
course we
TFP
do.
after party. And dude, I think we're going to have to do tickets for that. Like, it's going to be like an exclusive thing where you're going to have to, like,
Yes.
you know, it might be, I don't want to make it like, okay, only if you spent X amount of dollars, but that's certainly going to be one way to get invited. That's going to be one way to get our attention. But it
We
certainly
like it
will
when
be,
people spend money on things.
absolutely,
I mean, like,
absolutely. I don't want to
unfortunately-
exclude anyone, of course. We're not going to like turn people away at the door, but I don't know, that after party might be something where, again, we might have to like, you might have
might
to
have to cap
pre-register
it
for
at
it or
a-
something.
I mean,
or,
yeah, we
It's
gotta
gonna get
be-
wild.
It's not Burning Man, you know,
But it's not.
but it could be. I mean,
who
Double
knows
negative.
what
what was
could
that
happen?
like the first year? Who knows? Right.
Right. So speaking of promoting things, and I love Freedom Weekend as you guys love Freedom Weekend, and I hope to see everybody there that's watching this.
I'd marry
and
Freedom Weekend.
a lot more. Yeah, for sure. I'd at least take it to bed or whatever. so
After marrying.
only after
We're
marriage.
classy here. We're meant to.
Obviously.
So, anyway, speaking of our friends and promoting stuff that we like to do together, on the 19th of this month, which is a Sunday, as you probably know, there's going to be some friends of ours coming to a special event, Pistol Mechanics, a class
Ooh.
that you guys know and we all love, from noon to 6 on the 19th, which is Sunday.
Sunday.
Hey, Josiah, can you do me a courtesy, friend? Since you got the computer there, can you go and in the events for the firing pin, can you pull a link and drop it into the comments there? And guys, I got like 2 or 3 slots open in that class, and I'd really like to fill it. If you guys would help me out, Josiah's going to put a link in there. Pistol Mechanics is an awesome day of training. We're going to have fundamentals of marksmanship.
I was gonna say that's not pistol mechanics. Sometimes people think that's like breaking the gun down and like
Yes. No,
how
no,
the
no,
gun
no, no,
works,
no, no.
the mechanisms of it.
All of like, so when I talk about pistol, okay, so I have a couple different levels to the pistol classes that I teach, right? I have the pistol foundations, which is really just a 2-hour kind of like introduction to, hey, this is a handgun and this is where bullets come out, and like, don't point it at me, please. And that, you know, it's not that level of instruction, but it's like,
Sure.
obviously I break things down to like the lowest kind of common denominator, and we get a couple of hours talking about safety and fundamentals and how are we going to stand, how are we going to grip the handgun, what is
Yeah.
our sights going to be doing, and then we're going to get onto the range and do a small amount of shooting, probably 50 rounds, something like that at the end of the class. And we'll get, you know, general questions answered and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it costs like $100 to come to that class.
So worth it, man.
It's definitely worth the time.
crazy.
Especially if you're like brand new, and you just want to get into an environment where you have the ability to ask questions,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is really safe, but you actually do get to do a little bit of shooting as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one level. Then from there we get into pistol mechanics. Pistol mechanics is all of like the mechanical skills involved in working your handgun. So your load procedure, your clearing of malfunctions, your drawing from the holster is important. We do a little small amount of shooting on the move in that class. We do a couple of drills with like target transitions, like multiple target stuff. You know, where are the eyes looking and how are the sights kind of, you know, moving from point A to point B kind of deal. And it's very fun. And it's fun, and it's also a good learning experience. And you get not a lot of repetition, but like 300 rounds we shoot in that class. So it's a good ratio of like how much we're shooting, how much repetition you get versus how much learning is going to be involved.
Yeah.
Right?
You're a good learner.
I
at
do
teaching.
all right. And then from there we do a little bit of, or from that class we get into concealed pistol stuff, where it's all obviously working from the holster, and it's more having to do with shooting on the move and positional stuff and one-handed. So, that's the other thing that we do in pistol mechanics is we get into all of the different techniques that I show for one-handed shooting. Right?
Gotcha.
Because there's a bunch of different ways that
Which is important.
you can skin that particular cat.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
but yeah, there's different
A lot of training. coming up.
levels to. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of training
Yeah.
coming up. March the 19th, we got that pistol mechanics class
As
coming.
always, one-on-one lessons too. I think that's
That's
those
best
classes
bang
are amazing.
for the
but
buck,
yeah,
right? Like for sure.
Because especially too, like you have that conversation, like, what do you want to learn? And
Right.
then we just go down that path. Like,
It's all
you know what
and
I
it's
mean?
all driven by like one individual person or small groups. Sometimes, like I like to do 2-on-1,
I can see that.
2-on-1.
Menage a trois.
Right.
We have a couple
Absolutely.
questions.
Let's hit 'em.
Let's talk about it.
Boom.
These two questions can kind of be rolled into one. So Brian, a regular, I always love you for chiming in on the stream. Thank you so much. Asks, he has an AR-10 lower that he needs to build, and I assume he's asking if we have what he needs. And yes, we have parts kits, we have bulk air groupings, all of that stuff. The only thing you're not really going to get from us is the upper. We don't have any of those in stock right now. But the cool thing about uppers is you get them sent right to your doorstep. That is a part. So
That always has been the holdup for us stocking a ton of that stuff.
Yeah.
Is there are just so many options, and even still in New York, ships right to your front door. So
for now.
we can get any of that stuff if for some reason you don't want to have it shipped to your front door. Like,
Sure.
you know, hey, you can come down here, pay for it in cash. Like, you know, whatever you want to do, we get that. But
I also have a hat.
tinfoil hat, right? Yeah, I would love one. Yes, thank you. But yeah, I think some basic parts, and especially the way things are in New York and the way the laws are lawing things up, we got to do whatever we can. So I think you'll see more AR-15 and AR-10 basic parts and whatnot down here coming up soon. What else we got?
So the second part of that I kind of wanted to hit was Andrew asks, he's been stuck on a decision and he wants to know featureless or pinned mag. I have to tell you to always follow the law, but I prefer pinned mag because you can still have all of the scary features. You can have your comps, your pistol grip, all of the fun stuff that you'd want to, make the gun a little bit more comfortable to fire. And if you were to ever move to, say, Tennessee or a free state, it's not impossible to switch it back to, a standard rifle. So I'm always going to go with a pinned mag and all the features you want, as opposed to a detachable magazine and just totally annihilating all comfort and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I'm going to take you the opposite direction on that one, and I'm going to say featureless gun as opposed to pin mag, because if you get some...
My name's Pat.
Are you finished?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
So when you get some sort of a malfunction, right? Because it's not really a matter of if you get some sort of malfunction, right? It's if you get a malfunction. If you get a malfunction, specifically with a magazine-fed semi-automatic rifle, right? What is going to be the first point what's going to be the first point of failure on that rifle? It's going to be the magazine, right? Because that is an expendable part. You have a follower, you have a spring, you have a magazine body. All of these things are prone to wear, and all of these things need to be replaced, okay? So, with that said, if I have a fixed magazine and I get a malfunction of that nature that's related to the magazine, I can't remove the magazine from the gun, right? So I have to come up with some alternate means of
He's
clearing.
just so mad he left.
He's so upset by
He's just shaking.
I just shattered his
His worldview.
worldview. I don't get it.
Oh my god. No, I'm with you though. And I
I need to have the ability to rip that magazine out of the rifle.
Yeah.
Because
I
that's
do-
how I clear the
Pat, are
malfunction.
you telling me that the Safe Act made the AR less safe?
1,000,000% less safe. It's so
That's
it's
so
so
weird.
egregiously less safe. It makes me so upset. Because they call it the Safe Act, and what they did was they literally made that gun infinitely less safe.
was
for
gonna bring
people.
one of those out here, but
it's so much more difficult for me to clear some sort of a stoppage out of this rifle.
I do agree with Tyler's point that the pinned magazine is the least disruptive to the way the gun naturally wants to be, right?
I guess, but
but
I'll have that argument
When you want to
here in a
use it,
second.
when you go to use it, you need to take a mag out.
I'll have that argument here in a second. So let's say that we get some sort of a complex malfunction where the bolt is open here. And obviously this is a new gun off the shelf, so I'm not going to do anything weird and jam a bunch of shit in here. But let's say that I get some sort of malfunction where it becomes necessary for me to rip the magazine out of the gun, and now I have to get my fingers up into the magazine well, right? So the purpose behind getting my finger up into the magazine well,
Yeah,
can I get...
go ahead, sorry.
The purpose behind getting my finger up into that magazine well is I need to be able to get my finger onto the bolt carrier group. So in case there's a stuck case or a brass over bolt situation, I can move the bolt carrier to the rear, and then I can hold it while I move the charging handle independently, so that now I can get that stuck case out of my upper receiver, right? But if I don't have the ability to get those fingers up into that gun, then I don't really have the ability to clear the malfunction the way that the rifle is supposed to be cleared out, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and set this guy down here. Thanks, Ty, for grabbing that. And
So
now
you'd
if I
prefer the
have
Thorson?
this rifle well, okay, so yeah, I'll grab that guy here in a sec. So let's talk about like the ergonomics wise, right? Obviously this is the way that the gun is intended to be set up. And so if I want to use the rifle, I position it here on the center line of my body, and now when I bring the gun up, the sights are naturally aligned with the sight, or the eyes are naturally aligned with the sight, and the gun is in a good straight line, and everything is cool here. And then when I want to load it, I can bring it into my workspace, right? I can get the magazine in and out. If I have some sort of a malfunction, whatever, workspace, all of that good stuff, right? So we can manipulate the gun in that way if it's set up in a traditional configuration. So now, can I still get the gun on the center line of my body here? Yep. Can I still bring the gun into the workspace, load, unload procedure, all of that good stuff? Can I still, right? Is it still useful in this configure? And is it still like ambidextrous? All of the same things that apply with the pistol grip still are kind of in play with the Thorsden stock if you don't get too hung up with the way it looks, right?
And just like for me personally, it's wildly uncomfortable. Like I'm larger.
I'm not saying I'm in
reach.
I'm not saying I'm in love with it, right? What I am saying is like, stop crying.
I mean, we can't say what we really want to say.
Right. It does suck how much more expensive.
People
and
know what to do,
harder-
right? Like you're a grown up. Like live your life.
It is sad how much more expensive and harder it is to get that style of AR-15, because most AR-15s have a threaded barrel or have an A2 birdcage on it like that one does. So to get a crown barrel with no threading on it, yeah.
It's not that much louder though. You know what I mean? Like
I'm not saying it's good, pro or con. I'm just saying it's harder to get, more expensive to get, just dollars and cents wise, because they're more rare. They're just not as most
Sure.
people want that, right? So like companies.
no, and
only
you got to
really-
do like a thread cat.
Companies
You got
only
to
really make that for New York and California and
Right.
Massachusetts, maybe.
The only thing
whatever other
I'm
shitty
saying-
states.
So Model 1 sales is a good, if you're looking for like crown barrels and stuff like that, one of the companies that I found was a good resource for shit like that was Model 1 sales. They're out of Texas, and they have crown barrels in different legs and configurations and all of that good shit. Yeah, so I'm not saying that I love the Thorsden stock or anything like that, Ty. They do make one with spacers, right, for guys like you with longer arms. Somebody in there mentioned the Fight Light SCR, which I am really excited about too. I think that that's a good, workaround.
I mean, when you can find one.
Yeah, they're expensive too. Like I'm not saying that they're like,
My big thing is if you go
the
to a
end all
free
be all,
state,
but
you don't have to worry about having a crown barrel. You don't have
Sure.
to worry about this.
okay, but change your upper.
That's more money. Like if I just have that, I just back a screw out and we're good.
Yeah, I get it, but like
Or
if
free
you
men do what they want.
But for legal reasons, that's a joke.
It's a joke, of course. Do we have any?
yeah, our
other
lawyer
final-
really wants us to say that.
Do we have any other questions? Getting kind of late in the...
No.
The
Do you
old evening
wanna
here.
do you wanna talk about this? This is a you question.
Me?
Yeah.
I can't read that far. I can barely read. Any news on Polar Wave and what I'm
Or just
doing
read it out loud.
with
Fine.
the property? Marianne, thank you so much for the
It's my grandma. Everybody, that's my grandma.
Aww.
Hi,
So,
Gemma.
no real updates on Polar Wave. For those of you that don't know, or for those of you that do, here's a recap. I bought the former Polar Wave property in Batavia, gosh, like 4 years ago. Now it's
I thought it was
crazy.
like 5 or 6. It's 4.
No, it's only
Can
been
you
4.
can you
Yeah.
help me with that? Can you educate me on that?
So
talk about it.
I bought it with the intent of turning it into an outdoor tactical range. Basically, give this guy a real playground out there. It is 22 acres of some very nice land with some cool features, and we thought it was going to make the perfect spot for it. The town had other ideas, I guess. Not so much the town. I don't want to crap on the town of Batavia. They were fine. I think if I'd hired lawyers, I try to do everything myself, I guess. Like, we did it all here in Bergen as far as going to the town and whatnot. Like, we hired an engineer, took care of it, no big deal. I'm sure if I'd hired lawyers, we could have forced our way through in Batavia, but I'm just not that guy. I don't want to be enemies with all the neighbors and, like, constantly worry about just crap with them. Like, I'm not going to invest. The property itself was expensive. What I wanted to do to it was going to be very expensive, and then
There's so
not
much
like-
liability already,
Yeah, right.
and then it takes
It's tough.
one person to complain
Yeah.
about something that's not safe or whatever.
So I kind of just did nothing, and I just kind of, all right, it's an investment now. Like, I bought the land. They don't make more of it, we're just going to hold on to it, and we'd have fun with it. Like, as stated, I buy crazy stuff at auctions, so it was like, the hell am I going to put that? Throw it out at Polar Wave. Like, I got a
Right.
big barn out there, I got equipment and stuff, and it's like, it is what it is. I just haven't used it, I guess. It's not, like, on the market, but obviously everything is for sale. So,
Everything's for sale, right? all the
if someone approached me, I have been approached, nothing like seriously, but if someone approached me and offered me what I would want to get for it, I would sell it, and we'd use that money for things here, and maybe try an outdoor range here, or a quasi like indoor outdoor range where we could get longer distance, but you're shooting from indoors. And maybe there's some blue sky between like where you're shooting from and where the target is, but you're not in that area. Like, it's very safe. Like, we obviously want to stay good neighbors here with Bergen. I've never heard complaints, from anybody. I think we're generally well liked and respected in the community here. So
It's a cool
I'd like to stay
area
that way.
too. Like,
Yeah.
everybody around here is really nice, and
I mean, by rights, like, this is industrially zoned, so we could make as much noise as we want. Like, during the daytime, I think we could do whatever we want out here. So, but there's obviously what's legal and allowed, and what's like neighborly, I guess, and what's like the right thing to do, and we want to stay on that side of it. But
yeah.
Polar Wave, kind of the ironic thing to me, or the humorous thing that I always enjoyed about how that shook out was, if I had gone through the process of making it a commercial range, then I would have had to gone through, the town planning board, and there would have been like a special use permit, and they could have hit me with all these rules: no shooting, except between noon and 2 p.m. or whatever. Like, no shooting.
They would have
on
had so
Sundays,
much
no
more
shooting on-
control.
a ton of control.
over.
Since I'm just a dude who owns land, I can just do what a dude who owns land does and let my friends use it for fun, recreationally.
If we wanted to
So-
go there right now, it is
could.
dark outside.
Yeah.
We could go there and shoot full auto
I have.
machine guns
Yeah.
right now in
Just
the
throw some night
dark
vision on,
and do whatever we
Or not,
want
just-
until 10, until like the noise ordinance goes into effect in Batavia.
So that's for the city.
Oh right.
The town has none.
Oh
Yeah.
so I
The town
mean,
has none. Yeah, I've been out there and talked to a trooper who was telling me he lives in the town of Batavia, in a town, right, not the city.
Right.
But he lives out, and he's like, yeah, done drills like on his property at 2 a.m. just because he's like, I was thinking about it. Like, I've gone to so many other people's houses, like responding to calls, and you shine a flashlight and it throws a weird shadow. And he's like, I never thought of like, when I look at my propane tank, like, what's that gonna do? Just, he's like, so I've like set some targets up and ran a drill at like 2 a.m, and it's like,
Yeah.
there's no law against it. You can't hunt at night.
Right.
We're not hunting. There's actually no law. A lot of people think there's a law that you can't shoot like sundown to sun up or whatever.
no, you can shoot at night.
That's only a hunting thing. So like, if you're not hunting, you can do whatever you want. Target shoot, like, as long as you're following the rules and being safe, and your projectiles aren't leaving. Your
Your mags
safe,
better be pinned.
shooting area. Yeah. Now you got me wanting to go to Homeaway and shoot some machine guns.
Dude, let's do it.
Right now, let's live stream.
Let's go. Let's go.
Live stream that.
Bring
well,
the Starlink. Yeah, we'll go.
So the Cali key, Pat. That's our next little question.
That's the charging handle, right? With that makes it into a bolt gun.
yeah,
kind of deal.
and then we're gonna give away some Ear Pro.
F-18. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ear Pro.
So Cali key, Pat. Okay, this is what I've heard. I've never personally used one, but I've heard of an issue that because it turns it into you're not allowing the bolt carrier grouping to reciprocate the way it would under gas. You're stopping that like instantly, and that damages it and that breaks it. So they're not really reliable because they're constantly breaking. Because like gas has to go somewhere. Like the AR is designed to have the bolt
Wouldn't
carrier
it come
grouping.
out through the gas, like the whatever you call that, like in the bolt itself? It has those two. It has these.
So
two
you're
holes.
saying that the charging handle stops
Wouldn't all that
gas from
excess-
coming out through the gas port?
Like, wouldn't all that excess gas come out of those holes?
Yeah, but the charging handle latch isn't designed to hold under gas pressure.
And there's no gas coming back there anyways.
Right, because the gas is all
duh.
stopping right here in the tube, so it's not
Yeah,
getting.
yeah.
Yeah, no, so that's definitely not the way to go.
I mean, do you build a bolt action that way? I've just heard a lot of people on the internet have a lot of issues with it. I've
I know
never
it's a thing.
personally
I've
used
never-
one.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because
I've
that
never
gas
used
is
one.
just getting trapped there.
Is it bad for your gun? You know how they made those? What they call them? There's a switch
Yeah, you can definitely.
where you
that's
could like
good
hold.
point.
I guess it's a handgun. It's an entirely different.
The switch on a Glock, like
No. The Hush Puppy. Hush
Oh,
Puppy
okay.
project,
Wrong
where
switch,
You,
sorry.
You lock the slide closed
Right.
on a semi-auto.
Yeah.
So that when you shoot, you don't eject a shell casing, and it's quieter.
you use it with your thumb.
Well, that gas is just
You can do it
coming
with your
back out the
thumb.
front, though.
I guess that makes sense.
That's,
Yeah.
Because that's kind of different.
That was on a Beretta, which has a fixed barrel in it.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense.
I think Maxim makes one. Too.
We should test it then,
B&T
I guess.
makes
Should we
one.
get
sorry.
one and see?
B&T makes the...
Try to kill it?
Honestly, I think that would be a great idea. We'll get a Cali key, we'll throw it in a rental, and all right, $10 off this rental gun. Break
Yeah.
it.
I think what's going to happen is you're going to get damage to the gas tube itself. I think that's probably where you'd get damage, would be either at the, or you would get excess erosion of the gas port at the fucking barrel.
Cali key. Send us a Cali key. We'll break it and tell you where you need to improve. If you know
it's-
somebody that works at Cali key,
It seems
tag
to
them.
me like what you would need would be you need vents coming out the back of but then you just get a bunch of gas in your fucking
Just take
face.
off your...
Take off your gas block.
Yeah.
Well, the
you
whole
don't need
point
it.
of the Cali key was that it's easily convertible.
Yeah, the problem with taking off your gas block is then you fuck up your gas block alignment, and then you gotta reinstall
like
your
it.
set.
I think it looks cool.
Then you're just venting
I think that charging
gas
handle looks cool.
I don't like any of the
underneath
California
handguard.
stuff because California
Oh, it is
has
vented.
I think that looks cool.
a program where you can write to their DOJ and they will tell you like, yep, that's approved. Like, yep, that makes it okay. New York does not. So I'm just always, I hate
I'm gonna reach out to them.
proliferation of...
I'm gonna try and reach out to them and see if they'll let us.
Well, it looks
That's
like they
one.
have a BCG too.
It's all one unit. I think that's like you buy that.
You buy the whole. That I don't know. All right.
I wanna
guess I
break
don't
you
know
guys.
enough about it.
I'm gonna reach out to them.
I
think
wanna-
I'm gonna do that
I
tomorrow.
want to learn more about it because I guess I really don't know as much as I thought I knew. I thought it was just the charging handle. I've never actually seen one of those in person or whatever. So
Cool. Give away
Cool.
some Ear Pro.
Let's give it away.
So
Give it away now.
Austin Wood is going to bring the rifle on the 19th. He's going to come to the store.
Just trying to break your stuff.
of course, so many other people ask questions. I'm sorry. Question time is closed because we're giving away some Ear Pro. Unless you want to stay a little longer, Brendan. Okay.
That's so past my bedtime.
So we're already locked in. You can't go back. You can't do it. Josiah and I have already been scheming. If you had any type of reaction on our last post about asking questions for the live stream, you've been entered into a pool to win this. So if you commented, you shared, you liked,
Which was only like 4 people.
it was like 9. Our ending number
Okay,
was
yeah.
9.
That's sad.
Typically, we run like about 200 likes on
I was
stuff.
going to say, yeah.
So if you saw it and you didn't react on it, sorry, you missed out. Like our stuff. It's a second. Just hit the little button. Give us some love. It helps us. So, Josiah, if you'd like to go onto your computer and show the people our little winner chicken dinner Excel sheet, while I sit here with my performance glasses,
Performance eyewear.
performance eyewear glasses, same thing. It's really bright out here. I don't like it.
It's too bright. Dude, these past couple days where like the sun has been out over all the snow, like you've needed these.
Yeah.
Like they are a lifesaver.
We got it. We got it up. Cool.
I have sensitive little eyeballs, anyways.
Same.
Hey, Pat. Whenever you feel good, just say stop.
Stop.
Who?
We got Dwayne James.
Cool.
Oh,
We
Completely
love
random.
Dwayne.
You could see
That
that,
was
was completely
I-
random.
I said
Completely
stop,
random.
and he stopped.
So Dwayne, you got some new cool.
Performance eyewear. Oh,
$100.
look, another excuse for him to come out.
Yeah.
Did he message you? He wants to.
Yeah.
like,
He wants to
be a regular.
He wants to be a regular.
He wants to be on the stream.
He was here the other day, and I wasn't here, and I'm
was
sorry
fun.
that I missed him.
It
Yeah,
was a fun show. I don't know how we would have fit all the meat back here. though.
too much, just beef.
I also wanted to bring up we got new hats.
Oh yeah, snap.
Here, we go to camera 5. We got new beanies. I bought these on a whim just to kind of fill the shelves, and then Mr. Tatro was like, "Hey, I can get those like what do you call this? Screen printed?
Embroidered? No.
It's not embroidered. I don't know what the term is. I'm not a technician, but you know, they put our logo on it, the new logo. So $12. Look at that. Still in season.
That's dope.
Woo! See you later.
All right, guys, stay beautiful.
Bye,
I love
guys.
you.
Love you.
Like our stuff, share our stuff. We love you. Spotify.
People performance
Tomorrow,
eyewear.
Saturday.